Anybody home? Think, McFly. Think.
And welcome back to the Film Reelcast. It's Saturday, it's the weekend. It can only mean one thing, that I'm excited, but more exciting is that I've got Neil back. Neil, hello.
Oh, hello, Stu. How the devil are you?
I am wonderful for many, many reasons. One of them being that I'm talking to you. The other reason is because we're going to talk about Episode 5, The Truth, The Winter Soldier, Falcon. It's just amazing. It is so good. A different kind of episode. The one we had last week, but one that I'm extremely excited to talk about nevertheless, because it's just fucking awesome.
No, definitely a different episode, wasn't it? I didn't think it took a different way than I thought it was going to, so it's interesting. So it'd be interesting to see what you think.
Yeah, and again, we've not spoken about this, so I don't know what you feel. So it's going to be interesting to hear what we kind of both feel about this episode. But before we get into that, other exciting stuff is that we are going to start our Terminator franchise, our retrospective review of the Terminator films. We should have everyone back for the podcast. That should be absolutely awesome. And we've got loads of other stuff. We just finished our Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3, or 3, 2, and 1, because we did them backwards, which was an interesting concept, wasn't it?
It was a bit odd. I think we were a little bit rush-houred out by the time we'd done the first one, but it was still enjoyable.
It was really good, yeah. So that's on all good podcasting platforms, Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, everything. We are everywhere. And also, it's going to be on our YouTube channel, The Film Reelcast. So go there, and there's loads of other films as well. Loads and loads. Let's get on with Episode 5, The Truth. And this starts with, I have to say, been the best fight that I can remember in a long time.
Big time.
Really. I mean, fucking... so many powerful symbols in this. The shield has still got the blood on it. I mean, you've got John running from the murder that he committed, and there's a lot of different views. I mean, I love looking at YouTube and like social media and all the different kind of forums about this, and you've got loads of different mixed reviews. You've got people who are saying the guy was a terrorist, it wasn't murder, and he was doing what a soldier does, and some people are really on that hate bandwagon, saying that it was just cold-blooded murder. I mean, where do you stand in that? What's your thoughts?
It was murder because, one, he didn't actually kill Battlestar. It was Karli, I believe, wasn't it, that actually punched him and killed him by mistake. So he's chased down in his incensed rage, and basically, you know, he's supposed to stand for justice. He should have captured him, questioned him, and all the things that they would do with a terrorist, as they're called. So, yeah, in my view, he murdered him. He just couldn't stop. He couldn't stop himself. The serum, his ego, everything that's going on in his head, all the trauma he's been through, obviously, that you've spoken about before, he's just lost it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really interesting. And what we did speak about was what kind of spin the US government might put on this, if any. He's kind of I think he kind of dips his toe in the puddle of Isaiah in a certain way, but it's such when they walk into that warehouse and he's crouched over that shield with the blood on it. I mean, that's a poster shot if there was any. It's incredible.
Definitely. And
the fact that, and they kick off, they try and talk him out of the shield. They try and say to him, look, mate, you've gone too far. It's consuming you. What's going on? Yeah. And and as soon as they mention just hand over the shield, it's just lit that fucking fuse.
Didn't it?
But I think huge credit, and I can never remember his name. You always remind me in the 5th episode. I'll have to ask you the same favour. The guy who plays John Walker,
Wyatt Russell.
That's the one. Every fucking episode. His acting in this, I mean, he's got I think it's a credit. The fact he's hated so much is a credit to the writers, a credit to the acting.
Definitely.
He plays the kind of twitchy kind of character where you can see him wrestling with his own kind of emotions, his own thoughts, and his own guilt. And the flashback he has of Lamar and all of those moments in the build up to this is really kind of like already, even though it's early days as Captain America, but he's a real kind of tortured soul, isn't he?
Oh, massively. Like you said, you know, he's been there. He's got his 3 Medal of Honors for all the horrible things he had to do, and he's a traumatized bloke massively. And I think the actor he's brilliant. When we first saw him, we took the piss out of him because he looked like an absolute muppet in the uniform.
Yeah.
But he's brilliant as an actor. I think they've done an absolute worldie getting him to do this.
Yeah, I do. I think he's so good at the way the way they put that blood on the shield, and they keep showing the blood on the shield, and it's the symbol of what it stands for, and the fight they have over that shield.
Yeah,
such a good fight. It's so powerful and emotional. It kind of reminded me of trying to get the glove off Thanos.
Yes.
They were just so close, and that the evil in his eyes, and when he's now kind of got rid of John Walker, he's now Captain America. That has consumed him like fucking venom, isn't it, really?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's interesting because when you're watching the fight, he is trying to kill both of them, isn't he?
100%.
There's a couple of moments where he nearly smashes Sam in the face with the shield, and he gets out of the way just in time. So, you know, he just doesn't care now who he hurts, who he kills. He just wants to be Captain America, and you know, he's completely incensed by it.
Do you feel sorry for him at all?
I do, in a certain sense, that he's clearly got issues with everything he's been through, but I don't as well, because he chose to take that serum because of his greed.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of on the fence with it, to be honest.
Yeah, so am I, and it's really weird how kind of even I've come around to he's just a complete 100% dick, and now he's not, because of possibly when he was put into the position of Captain America, he didn't understand what it meant, and the government didn't do the right tests and psych evaluation for him, that he clearly shouldn't be taking it, and no one else can. But as you say, he goes to launch that shield into Sam's face or into his throat, whatever. But the choreography, the fighting from Sam with those wings getting out of everything is so clever. It's so good. And Bucky has got that rage. He's fighting for his best friend's shield, and you can tell that just through his face alone. It's so good and exciting and powerful. All of these things of just 3 guys kicking shit out of each other.
Oh, it's insane, isn't it? It's absolutely brilliant. When he gets thrown, Bucky gets thrown, doesn't he? And his arm starts malfunctioning, and then he's got Falcon on the floor, and he actually physically rips the wings off of his suit, doesn't he? And just destroys it. And he's just about to smash it. He's taken his mask off, and you can see that he's just about to smash him in the face with the shield, like he did murdering that guy in the square. And thankfully, Bucky was able to get there in time, because that would have been end of for Sam.
100%. And you can see the rage in Walker's eyes, that he's just lost it. It's so good. They must have been so drained after this. It is just so good.
But that just goes to show what the serum's done to him, doesn't it? You know, he had an ego before, and he had the whole issues around the fact he wanted to be strong enough to fight anybody. But that serum, because like Battlestar says, it just makes you more you. Yeah. In that episode when he said he would take it, and it's made him just a bigger, badder, sort of egotistical nut job.
Yeah, it heightens every sense, doesn't it? And the breaking of the arm is so savage,
isn't it? Just
Jesus, it's fucking really hardcore. And I love the fact that after that, Bucky picks up Walker by his legs, swings him into a flying Sam, and just knocks him out, and he takes the shield. And after that, what was your thoughts on the fact that Sam's laying on the floor completely fucked? He's just had it. Bucky gets up, picks the shield, and just chucks the shield on the floor next to him with it's quite an interesting look of, you caused this, isn't it? Do you think that's what he's saying?
I think it is a case of, this is yours, you should never have given. He's still angry at him, isn't he? The fact that he gave the shield away. So he just threw it at him saying, this is yours, you should never have done this in the first place. Pick it up.
Yeah, because he kind of You said like the shield is the closest thing he's got to. He says this at the end. I mean, we'll talk about it more, but when you retired the shield, you retired a lot more than that, and it's quite interesting comment. And then Sam wipes that blood off the shield, and Sam, just the look on his face, and Anthony Mackie's so good. The look of regret is the first one I've seen since he's given that shield away, because he's always said it was never mine to have in the first place.
Yeah.
But he's kind of arcing as a responsibility that he's realizing now that it was his. So I think that's...
Yeah. I think the guilt is in there, isn't it, with the fact that he knows that him being talked into giving it away by the government, which is how I swing it, is, you know, he's caused this new revolution of Captain America, who's just turned into a massive fucking nut job and has caused all sorts of issues, you know, and he's going to be in so much shit in a sense.
Oh, so. God, yeah, it's so good. But and you then go to a character who's not been in it for a while, a character who I really enjoyed from the comic books. You get Torres, and they're really setting this up. He says about a lot of the GRC have arrested the Flag Smashers, but they can't find where Karli is, which is obviously understandable. And after their conversation, he's always shown interest in the tech that Sam's got, and Sam gives him the wings, which is really good because that kind of hints to the comic books, which they do hint a lot, where Torres in the comics does become the Falcon. So I think that possibly later on, possibly in the MCU at some point, or in this, you never know where it's going to go, that Cap will adopt Captain America. Sam will become Captain America, and Torres will become the Falcon, which is going to be so exciting if that does happen. But
it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see, because you can see that Sam's got this affinity with the shield growing, hasn't he? Because he's sort of holding on to it this time at the moment. Yeah,
and it's very, very good. I mean, again, sticking with Walker, the next scene of when he actually goes and he's stripped of his title, I started to feel sorry, and then in his typical walk away, he fucked it up, because they really do hang him out to dry, don't they, in this?
Yeah, I think they had to be honest. You know, he's been recorded killing someone, pleading for their life in the middle of somewhere. You know, they couldn't, you know, he was lucky that he didn't go to jail for war crimes, in a sense, you know, doing that. And, you know, they did fuck him over, but they had to make an example of him. They had to show that they'd done something wrong by giving him the shield in the first place.
With all due respect, Senator, I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation fully, thereby have misunderstood the circumstances.
This is not a negotiation.
I understand.
This is a mandate.
I'm just asking to be heard.
It is a mandate.
I understand that! I understand that! I lived my life by your mandates. I dedicated my life to your mandates. I only ever did what you asked of me, what you told me to be and trained me to do, and I did it. And I did it well.
Senator,
I am Captain America.
Not anymore.
Because I think the writing is so good in this, the way it's put. And when he shouts out to them that you built me, like you created me, I'm a product of what you wanted me to be. And to a certain extent, I think that says a lot about that the people. I've never known. I've never done any kind of service. I never will do. I'm far too out of shape and a coward. But that these people, I mean, must feel like that when they've been on several tours and seen what they've seen, and they're a product of what the army want them to be, and then they're just left in Civvy Street to get on with it, and they just can't mentally. I think it's really, really well written, and whether that's kind of a reflection of what they wanted to show, I honestly don't know.
I think so. You're right, actually, to be fair. I think they try and cover quite a lot of bases in this show, don't they, about serious issues. And this is a serious issue, though he's been an absolute dick for taking the serum, and, you know, he killed someone in hot blood sort of thing. But, you know, he doesn't deserve to be treated the way he's being treated, because they have to do it because that's what they have to do, but he doesn't deserve it in that sense, because he has been a model soldier for them and done everything that they've ever wanted, but he's fucked up once and now he's screwed over, isn't he?
Oh, completely. He won't get any of his army pension. He won't get any recognition of the rank that he is.
No.
And he's really hung out to dry. But that kind of plays into, you get Valentina Allegra Fontaine, who arrives, who's an actress I haven't seen. I think it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Well, I've not seen her since Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is amazing, which is in a hell of a lot. And she approaches Walker and his wife, and she's from the comic books. And it's with one episode to go, it's quite interesting that they've introduced such, I mean, a big character as in the actress, but I mean, in the comics, she was an agent and she worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. and she worked with Nick Fury, and Nick Fury and her became lovers, and they kind of fell in and out of love. He accused her of flirting with Captain America. But it's not known, there's not a lot known about her. She did dip in, and she did work for Hydra for some point. So it's interesting that she's got a blank card, and she does agree that I would have done the same thing as you. That person deserved to die. And it's just, it's good that they put this character as a blank canvas, who's from the comics, who can go in any direction. And it's going to be exciting.
It seems like she's sort of part, how I read it is that she's part of some sort of organisation that deals with, you know, trying maybe vigilantes or something like that, and she wants to recruit him potentially. But I don't know the comic books and stuff, so. But that's how I sort of looked at it. Going,
that's
given a blank card.
Yeah, like someone like Batroc would work for her. That she does just get mercenaries and fights that other people wouldn't fight, and it's it'd be interesting to where it goes. And when she's saying that about the shield as well, and don't worry about the shield. That has she got access to vibranium, which plays into something that happens later on. It'll be interesting to see what she means about that. It's a kind of legal grey area about who owns the shield. So
I think she's saying, isn't she, that, you know, it was given to the government, they don't own it. It was never theirs, because it was Tony Stark made it, didn't he, at the end of the day? So it was poignant, because they said, give me back the shield, didn't they, after that, as he was leaving the hearing. They said they wanted the shield back ASAP, which means to me, that shows that the government are like, shit, we need to find someone else that we can push out there and show that we're not the bad guys, and, you know, spin it out again.
So do you think they'd put another Captain America out so quick after this kind of public failure of Captain America, or do you think they'd lock the shield away and not have another one? Because it'll be interesting to see what they wanted to do. I mean, that would be like such a token gesture, Captain America again, which you'd have lost its title of what it means, wouldn't you?
You would, but there again, their egos are such that would they just put out another one to say, look, you know, we made a mistake, this is the new guy or girl, you know, whatever it might be. And I don't know, I don't, you know, it's the whole trust thing, is it?
Yeah, you can never second guess, can you, end of the day, of what this government are going to do in this. But it'll be interesting to see. But so they are in Latvia, or they go back to Latvia, and they talk about everyone like Nico and everyone who's was in their lives and now gone. And she's already proved by blowing up the GRC building, killing all those people, how Karli can react or overreact, I suppose some people would say. And she says, right, we're going to step this up and take it to another level, which does play in later on. And you know that whatever she's going to do isn't going to be good, because she's like a woman scorned, isn't she?
Oh, she has got her idea, and that's it. And she is, the more that happens, she becomes more and more incensed and more entrenched in her idea and can't see past it. She has her plan, and everything that happens is just pushing her towards it in a darker way. Yeah,
and I get the impression that some of the flag smashers don't agree with her ideas, but like when she blew that building up last time, and when like Batroc comes into it, spoilers, we talk about this every week, that they don't agree, and we're terrorists now, and we're working with terrorists, our allegiances are with them. So it's interesting that they're on a different like kind of side of the line, but they go along with it anyway. So
yeah, they believe in her cause. I just don't think they believe in her methods, but I think they trust her So they're following her at the moment, but I think in the back of their minds they're like, I'm not 100% sure this is the right thing to do. But she's not really steered them wrong in the sense that she's obviously really helped a lot of people, and and everything else that she's been doing. So I think it's more the fact that they just have an allegiance to her rather than believe in how she's doing it.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. And then it goes to another scene which is quite interesting, that this Bucky going to Sokovia and finding Zemo. And from my take of this, I don't know if yours is the same, but I got the impression that he's there, and Zemo seems really confident about as if he can still control Bucky, and he can still kind of trigger him into killing someone, and that he was like egging Bucky on to kill him. And when he pulled that gun out and that he was going to kill him, they had that look on his face as if you kill me, I've proved to everyone that you're still a killer, that's still inside you. And he was really disappointed that he didn't kill him, and the fact the Dora Milaje came and took him away, which was a very nice touch indeed.
Yeah.
But I thought, did you get that same kind of feeling that that's the way they were playing the scene out? It was like Dark Knight, where Joker wants Batman to kill him to prove to everyone that there is another way of dealing with stuff, and you stick to these rules that Batman has. And I felt the same about this scene, that he wanted Bucky to kill him.
Yeah, at first when I was watching it, I thought, shit, he's figured out a way to turn him back into that they hadn't figured to get out of him. They turned him back into the Winter Soldier, and then obviously it was like, oh, he actually wants him to kill him. I saw it the same way. It twisted as I was watching it. There was a lot going on because of the way they filmed it. I thought, bloody hell, they've done it. He's turned him back.
Definitely.
And then he's just pulled a fast one on him, pulling the trigger with no bullets in, and then they turn up and take him away, and you can see that Zemo is proper disappointed in the fact that he's not being able to prove what he believes is true.
Yeah, it's great, as you say, 100%, because Zemo is probably disappointed about this, and you've got Ao, who's really pleased about this, because she was the one who kind of took his brain apart so that the words wouldn't be used.
Yeah.
And he's taken off. Do you think when they take Zemo off to the ship back to Wakanda, do you think that is Zemo done now, or he'll be back? What's your thoughts?
I think that there's more to see from Zemo. I think he'll use his ways, his cunning, to get around that lot in some way. He'll either, manipulate them to think that he's, a good guy, and he's got no. I don't know. I can't see this is going to be the end. I hope not, anyway. Yeah,
definitely. I like Zemo. I've really grown to like him, and I really grew to like them all as a trio as they were going through this. And he asked Ao for a favour, and the favour obviously is that case that she brings, which contains like a uniform. But where did they get that from, and how long did it take for them to bring it, and did they know who it was for? You know what I mean? I thought initially the favour was his arm was still fucked from the fight that he had with Walker, and can you repair it? Because they showed that they got the technology and they're the ones who built it. I didn't think it was the case. I was really surprised that it was the case.
I thought when they asked for it, he asked for a favour, I thought he was going to ask them to make Sam some better new wings, was what I thought initially, because obviously he still had his arm, and I thought, Sam had his Falcon ripped apart. So I was thinking that maybe it might have been that.
But it was the case, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, eventually, at the end, we found out it was the case, which we don't know what it contains yet. But it's fairly obvious. But
it'll be interesting to see if Bucky went through Sam's drawers to find out the sizes of his clothes, and whether he got them right, and whether when he'll put the outfit on, it'll just be too baggy.
That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? This needs to be taken in the scene. Yeah.
Have like MC Hammer trousers on that Captain America suit.
Fucking brilliant, wouldn't it? That'd be hilarious.
And the top will be like a crop top, and his belly button will be showing. And that'll all be Bucky's fault. He did it for shits and giggles.
Yeah, this massive hat that just falls over it. Yeah, pretty fucking brilliant, wouldn't it? Oh dear.
That'd be so good. Sam is really crazy about pink, just so you know. It's his favorite colour.
Pink and glitter, pink and glitter.
When he opens that case all serious, it's like a sparkly fucking pink outfit.
Just a leotard with the American flag on it. Yeah.
Oh, I'd die. I would die. I'd buy that figure 100 times over. Jesus. So you then get Sam going to see Isaiah. And again, they've kind of always, virtually every episode, they brought up like the race issues, as in, which is obviously, again, really topical as it is at the moment. And it's really interesting the way he speaks. And Sam, I love it that he says, I really want to understand what went wrong and why you're feeling the way you are. And that he says that the government would never have a black Captain America. They wanted blonde hair, blue eyes. And that he did go over, he was locked up, he was captured, and they injected several people and said it was a tetanus injection.
Yeah.
And they sent them into battle to see how they'd react and respond, which is so savage, isn't it?
Oh, massively. It's just human testing, isn't it? It's awful, the fact that they just thought, oh, we've got this thing, we don't know how it is, we've got several different ones, let's just pump it into some candidate. They've obviously got candidates like him, big, strong, good-willed, all these other things, courageous, and they've just pumped it into people. And it's, from what he was saying, it didn't work with certain people. It really fucked them up. Yeah,
they all had different reactions in certain ways. Did you take it that the different candidates who was they're injected, that they're all black, or was it just a collective that they actually got from the army?
I thought it was a collective, but I didn't see it as a race thing. I just thought that they did it on sort of personnel files, if you like.
Yeah, that's what I got, because it wasn't mentioned with regards to they got kind of people of different ethnicity to go off and fight. And because I totally understand the bitterness towards him, that everyone was captured and he rescued them. They were going to destroy the whole POW camp so the government could cover up anything that they were doing.
So I bust out of the facility one night and I brought them boys back. And what did I get for saving their lives? For the next 30 years, they experimented on me.
It's shocking, his story, which is told so well.
Oh, it's awful, isn't it? It's vile. So he never got to spend the rest of his wife's life with her, never got to see her. They stopped the letters that she was sending. They said that he was dead, so she could move on with her life. And it was all a massive, it's awful. It's no wonder he absolutely hates them. I think anyone would feel exactly the same. And the fact that he's got so much control around it that he just sort of says, previously I ain't talking about it, and I'm not, and he opens up this time and shows to Sam, who's already conflicted, isn't he? He's already conflicted about how the government are dealing with it, and the GRC and the flag smashers and everything. And this is just another poignant moment where Sam really starts to think, am I fighting for the right guys? I don't know.
Yeah, it's portrayed so well with Sam just sitting there, just the look on his face says it all. And
definitely.
And I can understand the bitterness, and I love the fact that his death was faked by this nurse who actually got him out. And you can totally understand his bitterness. And as you said, you kind of nailed it, that Sam's in a dilemma at the moment. He's really on the fence as to the GRC of where they stand, and the flag smashers, who I understand that they've been kind of moved on and kicked out the countries that they were actually asked to go and to work in and save.
Yeah,
that it's understandable why he's in this dilemma. And it's that he says that no one with any respect, no black person of any respect, would take up that shield. And what's happened, that's interesting. And even I thought that Sam would be in doubt, that he wouldn't take up that shield for this reason.
I think initially he said he thought that he wasn't good enough to do it. And now obviously we've got the elements of what this poor guy has been through. And, he's almost saying that you shouldn't. Well, he did say you shouldn't wear it if you're black because
Yeah.
it's not right. But I like the fact that I think Sam's conflicted on that. Sam, in his head, he's probably going, well, that's not right. It shouldn't be done about colour of your skin. It should be that you're worthy to wear it.
Yeah. And the way they not kind of spin that round, but the way Sam figures it out, like in the next kind of like the last third of this series is really good because he does leave very conflicted. And I think from what I got this, because he's conflicted about it, he goes back to his roots. He goes back to Sarah, and the boat is like a symbol of all of this, isn't it? In a way, that's what I got from it. That he goes back and he speaks to Sarah, and he wants to fix this boat, and he calls in the community, calls in all of his friends to work together because the boat's important to them. And even Sarah says, what's important to me and what's important to everyone else is completely different, as in the policies at the bank, the racist policies wouldn't help them out because of color, and they played it on that he's vanished for 5 years. And that even when Bucky turns up again with that case, the bond they get and the closeness they get just through building that boat and sorting all of their problems out was so good. I loved them working together. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, it was funny, wasn't it? They're proper buds now, aren't they? They have become thick as thieves. They do anything for each other, and it is fantastic, their relationship. I found this all a bit padded out. I was hoping for more action, but it was a necessary moment within the series. I just wish they'd sort of done it a bit faster and maybe concentrated a bit more on how Walker was doing, considering everything that had happened to him.
Yeah, it would have been interesting.
Yeah, sort of his struggle, how he was, and everything else like that. But no, I liked it. It was good. I thought it just went on a bit too long.
Yeah, I love the comment when he fixes that valve and says you didn't use your metal arm to fix it. Yeah. He says, I don't always think of that immediately. He goes, I am right-handed. Obviously referring to knocking one out, which I thought that was really, really good.
God, imagine using that metal arm to do that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that would be risky, wouldn't it? But it's when he talks to Sarah about getting rid of the boat and the fact that she says to Sam, you're a fighter and you fight for the right things. And this boat kind of represents all of the pain we've been through. If you don't pick up the Captain America shield, all of the pain that you've been through and everyone else, that will be just lost.
Yeah.
And it's a really good kind of redemption for that. And I love it that Sam decides I can be Captain America. I can pick up the shield and prove to everyone that a black person can carry it with honor. And
definitely.
It's awesome. It really got me excited. And I would have liked to have seen an even longer episode, as you say, of Walker, of just emotionally how he's dealing with everything. I think that would have been really interesting as well. Maybe we'll get that in the next one. I'm not too sure. And Sam's obviously in a dilemma. Keep looking at that shield. Keep looking at that suitcase, as in, should I open it? Should I not open it? And all meanwhile, Bucky's flirting with his sister really well.
I thought that was brilliant. Oh, hello, Sarah. So, you can see that Sam's like, you fuck off, mate. Back right off right now.
You leave my sister alone. And then he goes to Sharon Carter. She's obviously, I don't know who she's talking to, but she's referring to him rotting in some Algerian prison. You can hear some voice on the phone, but none of the names are mentioned whatsoever. And no. I got a feeling that she's talking to Batroc. So, and if she is talking, because it's a French accent, and he got sent to Algeria, because I mentioned that in the last one, that he got kicked out of an Algerian prison. Yeah. And if that is right, then she's in collusions, possibly going to get Falcon, because Batroc's story is that he wants to kill the Falcon.
Well, yeah, I'm a little bit, I'm sort of in the winds on this one, to be honest. I don't know much about the backstory, so I'm really interested to see where this is going. But her character, she keeps coming in, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And I still think she's the bad guy, like in that sense. I think she is what they called.
What, the power broker?
Yeah, I swear she is.
But the interesting thing is, and I've just done this now just to see, and if you go on to when you watch it on Disney Plus, if you put the subtitles on, it even now says, I've just seen it, Batroc speaking French.
Right, there you go.
So if there was any mystery around that, who she was talking to, just click on the subtitles and it will tell you who she's talking to. So they kind of killed any suspense that was in there. What did you think of the scene? Once this is all done, he's got the shield and Sam is padding out these trees, which is such a great kind of obstacle course. And the conversation he and Bucky has about Bucky putting his ghost to rest.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I think he's spoken to lots of soldiers and stuff, hasn't he, that have dealt with issues leaving the army or whatever it might be. And he's very good at talking people round to doing the right thing. And you can see, can't you, this look on Bucky's face when he suddenly realises that what he's been doing has been completely the wrong way round of what he should be doing to try and get over his emotions and his troubles. And instantly I thought, I wonder if he's going to go back and tell the guy that he killed his son or his whatever it was.
Yeah, go and see Yuri. Yeah.
Yuri, and tell him the truth, saying, do you know what? I killed him because he was working for the bad guys and all this sort of stuff. It'd be interesting to see if that's how, because, you know, he said, you know, just telling one person why you've done these things would help you. And he goes, well, I've got about 12. And he goes, well, just start with one. So I think that'll be the person that he does it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it kind of do something for them, do them a favor, help them out. You're kind of, everything you're doing at the moment is helping yourself, but you need to do something for them so they understand. Yeah, I think this first trip we're going to see, and it sounds like it's going to go on a bit of a road trip, and it will be Yuri who he'll see, and it will tell him about his son. And also he talks about Steve Rogers as well, and he's finally kind of understanding what it felt like for a black man to be handed the shield. And I'll talk about Isaiah, and then it's great that he then apologizes, and he gives Sam that shield, which is such a good moment. It's like the official handing over of the shield and the title of Captain America.
Yeah,
and
it's fantastic, isn't it? It ramps it up to say, look, Steve gave this to you for a reason, and you've finally figured out this is why he wanted you to have it. It's not about the fucking colour of your skin or anything to do with race, religion, or anything. It's the fact that you are who you are and you fight for the right reasons. You haven't got your own agenda. You just want to help people, you know, and that's why he was given it in the first place. Definitely.
And I think that it's done so well, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the very last episode. And we've already spoken about the boat and the fact that they decide to keep the boat. And the training montage scene, everything. I love the score of it. Sam chucking that shield. Jesus, the speed of that shield bouncing off those trees is lethal.
Oh no, it's funny, isn't it? When it's interesting because when they were throwing it between them, when they're having this chat, they were catching and doing it quite easily. And I thought, they're really good at this. But they must have been doing it fairly slow, sort of cash. When he's training later, it nearly takes it off about 3 times, doesn't it? It's hilarious.
It's so good.
Jesus Christ.
It's visually, it's brilliant the way it bounces off. It looks so realistic. It's just so dangerous, that weapon. And it's great to finally see just how he does it and the shield actually working. Because when they show you in the Winter Soldier, when he's on that boat and it's bouncing off different parts, I mean, Steve makes it look so effortless. He was so good at it. But to learn how difficult it is, and the fact that Sam's got to learn himself and doing all those flips, it was so exciting. I was buzzing.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? And the fact that he's doing all of this not being a super soldier. He's just a normal guy that has to train.
It is
triple
so
hard.
good. It's going to be
fantastic.
Fucking amazing.
What did you think about the scene? Because obviously we mentioned Walker, but he goes to see Battlestar's family, doesn't he?
Yeah, I thought that was really, really good scene. He did seem very humble in that, and it was the kind of Walker who we initially saw, but I kind of feel all his anger, and like the flashbacks, is possibly pulling him in the direction of Valentina Allegra Fontaine, as in that it will make his mind up to then go and take vengeance. And I kind of think that that's what they were pushing it towards, especially when it finished with him walking out there, seeing his old self at a Captain America poster.
Yeah, but what I found fun about this is the fact that they asked, did he kill our son? And he couldn't bring himself to get past his ego and say, no, the person that killed your son is still out there. I killed someone that was involved in them. And he's basically lied to his best mate's family to say that he got the person that did it.
Yeah, it's interesting because I didn't know whether that was kind of to put them at ease, you know what I mean?
I think it's a bit of both, but I think it's almost, but his ego, it's his ego, isn't it? He just cannot get past the fact that he can't do things wrong. So he in his mind thinks it's right, even though he knows that he wasn't the one that killed him.
I took that as he was doing them a favour, and it was like the Mickey and Rocky of when he like got lost to Clubber Lang and he said, "Did you win?" He went, "Yeah, knocked out." No, he goes, "What happened?" And he just says, "Knocked out in the third," referring to himself. And Mickey thought he won and he was at peace. So I took it as that. That's really interesting. You took it as that one. I like that.
Yeah, no, I don't trust him. That's the problem with it. I think that his ego is so massive he can't see past anything like that.
That's why it's so good, taking it two different ways. It's so good.
Shows how well it's written and acted, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%. And then you get Karli and Batroc finally comes into it, proving that it was him who Sharon was talking to, and he turns out loads of ammunition. And there's two good things about this, that he says, all I want to do is kill Falcon. And then I like the fact that she uses her phone and kind of initiates all of the other agents who you initially think are just normal people sitting there having a picnic. And it just goes to show how big the Flag Smashers are and that they are so undercover and everywhere.
Oh, they are everywhere. Their following is huge now, isn't it? You know, all the stuff that's been going on, like they said in sort of the news bits and pieces, that there's such a following for the Flag Smashers now that they must be recruiting every day.
Yeah.
To do what they think is right for these poor people that have been, you know, completely fucked over after trying to settle the world after the blip.
Yeah, and I as you said earlier, I understand their cause and I support their cause, but I don't support the way they're doing it.
Certainly not.
Yeah, certainly and not. You learn that the GRC are in New York and that they're going to have a vote to what's going to happen. There's another phase that they keep talking about. And I think it's to officially kick everyone out of the country who they initially asked to come into the country. And he speaks to Torres, and Torres is tracking the signals from the GRC, from the Flag Smashers, and identifies that they are in New York. Handily, which is good because it makes it easier for Sam to go where he needs to go, rather than them being like Zimbabwe or somewhere else, which is awkward to.
A little bit of a
yeah. So, and it ends with them talking about what they're going to do next, and they're even saying, why should we bother voting? We know what we're going to do, and they're going to kick everyone out. And then it all goes black, and you find out that some of the security guards are Flag Smasher agents, and they take over the building. Again, a poor showing of vetting for their security guards. It's not the first time.
Not the first time. They need to really sort that out. Whoever does their vetting really needs to have a word with themselves, doesn't it?
It's shocking.
I did like the fact, though, that not all of the GRC members wanted to, you know, just start rounding the people up. I think there was a lady said we can't treat them like cattle and stuff. So it's interesting. There's conflict in there as well. I did like that.
Definitely, yeah. I'd like to have learned a bit more about that, as in kind of what they're intending to do, because they talk about the troops are in place. Obviously, that I take it they're talking about the camps.
Yeah.
For the displaced people to round them all up and then take them back to their country. So it will be interesting. And it finishes with Sam opening that case. And I take it that the look on his face, it isn't a pink glittery outfit.
No, I don't think so. It wasn't a look of shock. It was a look of, well, this is happening. You know, it's all just clicked into place.
That's it. Shit's just got real. And for
Yeah.
those who don't know, if you go to 54 minutes and 24 seconds, there is a post-credit scene. So, and the only reason why I checked is because in Wanda, that they did have a post-credit scene on the second to last one and the last one, and it's our good friend John Walker spraying and building a shield.
I know. I was thinking to myself when he was doing this, I was like, doing it with sheet metal is not going to work, mate. You know, it's not going to be anywhere near as good as the original one. So it's interesting, like you said earlier, I didn't think about what's her face, Allegra, having the metal to be able to build a proper one.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
Because she was with Shield. So would she have got vibranium from somewhere for him to build a shield? You know,
Maybe.
I hope he does, because if it's just some metal shield, it's going to get destroyed.
Yeah,
it'll be great if he has got vibranium. And again, asking where he got it from. I honestly don't know, but it was really, really good. And who's he going to target? Is he going to target the Flag Smashers, or is he going to go after Sam? I mean, Sam's going to have his shield. That is going to be one hell of a fight, isn't it?
I think he's going to go after the Flag Smashers. I think he's going to go after the ones that have done this to him, or he believes has done this to him, made him lose everything. And I think that it'll be one of those moments, potentially, that Sam's there as well, and he sees him, and then there's going to just be a massive ruck between good Captain America and the bad, self-proclaimed Captain America.
It would be good. Then Torres flies in with the wings as well. That will be fucking awesome.
It'll all come together, and Bucky will be there, and you know it'll just be fantastic. There's just going to be hopefully a massive. What I did like about when he was making the shield is the fact that he was putting his medals in it.
Yes, really, really good touch.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It's just a really heightened. This is what it means to me. I've earned these medals. You know, I'm going to use this to kick some ass and show you who I really am. It's going to be, you know.
Because the only thing that makes me think it might not be vibranium, because the vibranium's so tough that you actually see him with a hammer bending it all and
exactly,
and kind of welding it. And if he was welding a shield, unless he was like some master craftsman, I can't see it holding together very well.
No, I mean, I'll be honest, if I tried doing something like that, it'd just turn out looking like a really misshapen dustbin lid. So I probably wouldn't even get it round. It would be some sort of weird jaggedy shape. So yeah.
It would be pony. I'd get loads of tetanus shots and stuff like that. It would be terrible. But yeah, that was episode 5 called The Truth. And another, as you said earlier, it's a different episode. There wasn't as much action as it was previously, but the fight for me was the best fight. But where did that kind of rate with you throughout this series so far?
Oh, it's up there. I mean, I love all the episodes. I really do. I still think the one before this was absolutely brilliant because of the twist of him killing that guy. It was mind blowing, but it's still up there as it was a brilliant episode. But the last one, the whole world is watching, is still the best one thus far for me. Yeah,
I think it just it's just great. Honestly, I get so excited when I get up for work on a Friday. It's like I want the day to be over so I can go home and watch this series. I'm just like a child, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's so funny.
It's captured us, hasn't it? It's definitely captured our imagination, and it's just one of those things that you cannot wait to get your teeth into and start picking apart, and your mind races to think, where are they going to go next? What are they going to do? And you start having your own ideas, and are you going to be surprised?
It's filmed so well. It just feels so cinematic. It's especially this one did as well, and they've managed to in 5 episodes cover like kind of race issues like PTSD and even mental health, and it's brilliant. And Marvel haven't done that previously, and for them to do that and cover the MCU and what's coming up, it's just written so well. I mean, they've nailed these series.
They've amalgamated so many issues and so much lore of the comic books. Like you said, it's followed this bit. You're far more knowledgeable than I, but to do that in 5 episodes is amazing. And the fact, like you say, they're talking about race, they're talking about all sorts of things, PTSD, refugees, how people are treated. It's just phenomenal. It's just so poignant, yet extremely entertaining. And it has you, you know, just, you're constantly just fingertips like, oh my God, give me more.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. I say we are on Twitter. It's at the Film Reel Cast. Send us a message if you thought it was a good episode, bad one, or how you think it's going to end. We do have, as I say, Terminator coming up on Wednesday.
Oh yes.
Which I really, really can't wait. I love doing these massive franchises. And this one is so good for so many different reasons. It's just absolutely brilliant, and I know you and James are really like this series, are really passionate about it, aren't you?
Oh mate, I'm a massive fanboy. I was a huge Arnie fan anyway, in his 80s and 90s sort of films, especially his 80s ones. So yeah, this is like, it's just, I cannot wait to watch it again for probably the millionth time and really talk to people about how awesome it is.
Definitely. So we'll be doing that on Wednesday, and that will definitely be out on Thursday, if not Wednesday. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Remember, check out everything else we've got on the podcasting platforms at the Film Reel Cast and the YouTube channel as well. Thanks to everyone who's listened so far. Again, I think we're going to get more listens than we did last month. And last month we got over 24,000. So it's incredible. And thanks everyone very, very much.
Yeah, thank you everyone for listening in. We really enjoy doing this, like Stu said. So, you know, I hope you do too.
Superb. Everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy doing whatever you're doing, and we'll speak to you very soon. Goodbye.
Bye.